and welcome to the fifth episode of the Weekly Football Talk, or WFT. My name is once again Lee Lublin, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of doing a recap of one of the games this week, since we are at officially the quarter season mark, I thought now would actually be a good time to kind of look at the divisions and conferences and see how all the teams stack up. So, without further ado, let's get started with the Nfc West. Leading the Nfc West right now are the 4-0 Arizona Cardinals. In second place are the 3-1 LA Rams. In third place are the 2-2 Seattle Seahawks. And in last place are the 2-2 San Francisco 49ers. And just to give you, Seattle is in third due to a head-to-head victory over the 49ers. Personally, I still think even with the Cardinals beating the Rams last week, this is still the Rams' division to lose. I still don't trust Arizona's consistency. They already had a shaky game against Jacksonville, and I don't love Cliff Kingsbury still. So I still think it's the Rams to lose. I think Arizona, though, has proven to me that they're probably going to be grabbing at worst a wild card spot this year. Seattle and San Francisco, they've both shown signs of being a good team, but they've also had some really bad moments. So we'll see what team version of those teams decide to show up for most of the year. Next, we will be looking at the NFC North. In first place are the 3-1 Green Bay Packers. In second place are the 2-2 Chicago Bears. In third place are the 1-3 Minnesota Vikings. And in last place are the 0-4 Detroit Lions. I think this is a pretty straightforward and easy division. Green Bay's probably going to end up running away with this. I think Chicago and Detroit are both two of the worst teams in the league. And I think Minnesota, while they're not a bad team per se, starting out 1-3 is hard to come back from. And I don't think they're a great team. So I think maybe they get to 8 or 9 wins, but that will be nowhere near enough to win the division. I think this is going to be a pretty straightforward. Packers are going to run away with it, even though they have not even looked their best, truthfully. But the rest of the NFC North is not good at all. Next, we're on to the NFC South. In first place are the 3-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In second place are the 3-1 Carolina Panthers. In third place are the 2-2 New Orleans Saints. And in last place are the 1-3 Atlanta Falcons. And the reason Tampa Bay is in first is they have the conference record tiebreaker. So, I still think this is kind of like the NFC North, except a lot better, where I do think this is going to still be Tampa's division, but I think Carolina and New Orleans are going to keep it a lot closer than Green Bay did. I've been pretty impressed with Carolina so far. I was not expecting this from them. We'll see if they keep it up, especially now that their schedule is starting to get a little bit tougher. But they showed me more than I expected already. New Orleans, on the other hand, has actually been a disappointment in my opinion, especially after that Week 1 win against Green Bay. They've lost to the Giants, and then they just rolled over against the Panthers. They didn't lose. They got dominated by the Panthers. So we'll kind of see what New Orleans teams, it's kind of like Seattle and San Fran earlier, where they've had a lot of good moments, but they've had a lot of bad moments. So it'll be interesting to see what New Orleans team shows up most of the year. And then Atlanta, what can you say at this point with them? It's rough for them. What's it called? They do have a win. They beat the Giants last week, but it's just sad to see where they've fallen at this point. And then finally, the last division in the Nfc East. In first place are the 3-1 Dallas Cowboys. Second place, they're the 2-2 Washington football team. In third place are the 1-3 Eagles. And in last place are the 1-3 Giants. And the Eagles own the tiebreaker due to, I believe, conference record. If not, it might just be a straight tie between the Eagles and Giants at this point. I'm still not entirely sold on the Cowboys. I think they're winning in spite of their head coach, which can always backfire on you when the head coach starts to get more control again. So, while I do think Dallas is the best team in this division, I'm not ready to say they're gonna run away with it, especially since Washington's offense has been better than advertised. It's been their defense that has actually been kind of suspect, which you would not say coming into the season. And then Philly and New York, they're just they're not great football teams. New York probably should be better than that 1-3 record, but that's kind of the point. They're not better than that 1-3 record. Bad teams find ways to lose. And then Philly, kind of same thing. I think both these teams are kind of in the midst of their rebuilds. So I think this is going to be a 2-team race between the Cowboys and football team. And like I said, I wouldn't be entirely shocked if the Cowboys pulled away, but because Mike McCarthy's their head coach, it'll be closer than you think. And then finally, we're moving on to the AFC. We'll start with the AFC South. The Titans are in first place at 2-2. Texans are in second at 1-3. Colts are in third at 1-3, and Jaguars are in last at 0-4. Texans own the tiebreaker over the Colts due to their one win being a division win. This might be the worst division in football because the Nfc East has looked better than we thought. I'm not. Tennessee's going to win this division, I think. I think Indy will also keep up more than people are giving them credit for. But Tennessee definitely needs to get healthy sooner rather than later, or they're going to be in some very real trouble. But if Tennessee can get healthy, they should be able to run away with this division. If not, I think Indianapolis is going to be able to stay on their heels the whole season. Houston and Jacksonville might be the two worst teams in football. Might be. So I would not be shocked if they both combined for maybe 3 or 4 wins by the end of the year. They're both really terrible. Next, we have the AFC East. Leading the way at first place are the 3-1 Buffalo Bills. In second place are the 1-3 Miami Dolphins. In third place are the 1-3 New England Patriots. And in last place are the 1-3 New York Jets. Dolphins own the tiebreaker over the Patriots due to beating them head-to-head. Patriots own the tiebreaker over the Jets due to beating them head-to-head. If you asked me before the season, I thought Miami and New England would at least be able to kind of keep pace with Buffalo, but it's starting to look like Buffalo might run away with this division. We'll see what happens next week, but if New England and Miami, God forbid, fall to 1-4, I don't see, and the Bills win, I don't see Buffalo getting caught at any point this year. Buffalo might run away with this division pretty quickly. And then actually on the flip side of the AFCs, we have the AFC North, where Cincinnati Bengals lead at 3-1. Baltimore Ravens are in second at 3-1. Cleveland Browns are third at 3-1, and Pittsburgh Steelers are last at 1-3. Bengals own the tiebreaker over the Ravens due to a division win, and Ravens own the tiebreaker over the Browns due to conference record. Well, Cincinnati is in first right now. I do think this is more of a fluke and anomaly than anything else. I think it is very encouraging, especially from Bengals fans, to see Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, pretty much all the talent is performing. I'm still not sold at all on Zach Taylor. I think, like the Cowboys, the Bengals are winning just in spite of their head coach. I think Zach Taylor is still not a great head coach. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sold on Mike McCarthy, but I'm a little more open to being wrong about Zach Taylor not being a good head coach. But here we are, they're 3-1, but their schedule's getting much harder. So we'll see. I don't think that 3 months is going to last, but I do think that they've at least proven to me they're not finishing last in the division this year. The two teams I think that are really realistically competing for the division are Baltimore and Cleveland. And truthfully, Cleveland has probably looked far and away the best team in that division. Baltimore, I honestly feel like 2 of their wins are extremely fluky. And that 1-3 record could very easily be 3-1. Or that 3-1 record could very easily be 1-3. So I'm not entirely sold on Baltimore yet. I think this is Cleveland's division. And then Baltimore will be right behind them. And then Cincinnati's definitely going to take couple steps back the next few weeks. And then last but not least, the AFC West. So I will just say the AFC West is a little weird because the Chargers and Raiders are actually playing their Week 4 game tonight. So we don't actually have the full Week 4 final results. So I'm going to explain this one a little bit weirder. So Oakland right now is in first place at 3-0, and the Chargers are right now in third place at 2-1. If the Raiders win that game, they stay in first, and the Chargers stay in third. The Chargers win that game. The Chargers and Raiders flip spots. The Raiders fall to third. The Chargers go all the way up to first. And then in second place, no matter what, will be the 3-1 Denver Broncos. And the fourth place team, no matter what, will be the 2-2 Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders will either be 4-0 or 3-1 after tonight. The Chargers will either be 3-1 or 2-2 after tonight. If Denver keeps up what they've been doing, this might be like the NFC West, a 4-team dog pound race for the division. I'm not super sold on Denver. I'm also honestly not the most sold on Oakland or Las Vegas. So we'll see what happens with both teams. But I do think the Chargers and the Chiefs are legit. And I'm not worried about KC, even though they're in last place right now. I know they're still a good team, and they'll be fine. So, now that we've gone over all the divisions, I just want to very quickly show the playoffs. If the regular season ended today, hold on 1 second. Regular season ended today. In the NFC, I'm not going to go over the full playoffs, but I will just say the Arizona Cardinals would have the first round bye if the season ended today. And actually, the rest of the playoffs would be the Arizona Cardinals would be the first round bye at the 1 seed. Dallas, Tampa, and Green Bay would be your 3 division winners and hosting the 3 wildcard games. And the Rams, Panthers, and football team would be the 3 other wildcard teams. And then in the AFC, once again, these are dependent on Monday Night Football. If the Raiders win, they will be number 1 in the conference and would have the first round bye. If the Chargers win, it would be one of the Chargers, Bengals, or Bills would have the first round bye right now if the season ended. But besides that, Bengals, Bills, and Titans would be the 3 teams hosting wildcard games, and then the Ravens, Broncos, and Browns will be the 3 teams in the wildcard games. So I believe that is it for today. I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. I'll give one last thing just because we were talking about end of season predictions. I think Josh Allen's winning the MVP this year. He's looked really good, and I think after coming in 3rd or 4th last year, I think he's ready to win an MVP. I think he might win the MVP this year. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you so much. I know this is a longer episode than I usually do, but I wanted to make sure I didn't just gloss over any division. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week back to regular scheduled videos. Peace.